Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining for our Oracle meditation this week. I'm Anna,
And I'm Mark.
and we have a new deck again. So, Mark got me this for Valentine's Day. It's called Trust Your Vibes Oracle Cards. I haven't looked at the deck at all yet.
I just opened it, like just cracked it open. And when I saw the deck, I was like, oh, this feels just like us, like trusting our vibes and doing all the things we do feels so special. So this felt like a really cool deck. And I love getting new decks because we collect decks and opening this one this morning, it has that fun, fresh smell. I love that too. So I've shuffled the cards here. The deck is really pretty. The back of the cards look really pretty. It's like the solar system on there.
Hmm.
So let's see what pops up. Trust your vibes. I love that. See what we get here. All right. So I got observe, but don't absorb. I
Mm.
like that. Observe, but don't absorb. And I was talking about that in class this morning about when we breathe in, there's so much to notice and sense and feel in all parts of ourselves. But then on our exhale, we get to release, kind of not absorb all the stuff we're sensing.
Yeah, it says, as a naturally sensitive and empathetic soul, you risk absorbing energy of others, like their worries, anxieties, distress. So being compassionate, but not assuming responsibility for what isn't yours. Keep an emotional detachment from people who are a whirling of drama. They can suck you in and drain you without realizing they're affecting you. Be lovingly impartial, and those around you face their soul challenges. Offer support if asked, but do not get involved or take on their burdens, no matter how desperate they may appear. People you love and care about will find their way. Trust others to meet their challenges in their own way and time, just as you must. Encourage them, but stay in your lane and attend to your responsibilities instead of getting swept up in their affairs.
And that feels so true. It made me think about this morning when everyone left class. I was like, everyone have an awesome day. And then part of myself was like, you know what? What if someone doesn't want to have an awesome day? I want to try to be myself and help and just put that energy out there, but it's like just have whatever day you need today. It may not feel awesome, but it may be the things you need to get you to that next place. Not being afraid of that hard stuff too.
Well, and I'm sure we can all think of at least one person that comes to mind that can sometimes feel like more of that draining energy.
Hmm.
So it's just being able to send love and support that person without taking on the burden of their emotions.
Right. Especially when you're in big groups, you're around a lot of people. I'm very empathetic and very emotionally sensitive. Like I can pick up on what people are feeling and thinking. And maybe you can do that too, but we don't want to use that like against people. We just want to use it to recognize ourselves. And like Anna said, if someone wants help and asks for help, that's awesome to do what we can for them. But if they're not asking, we're really just interjecting and maybe causing more harm. So just being mindful of who and where we are so we can be our best self for everyone. And no matter what anyone's going through, we can't help that unless they decide to help themselves. So let's do our little meditation on this observing but not absorbing. So if you want to find a comfortable seat, if you like to lay down, just do a meditation here for a few minutes, resting our hands. I like to think about softening my hands. Maybe you softly close your eyes. Maybe your eyes are open. It's totally up to you. And if we have our eyes softly closed here, we want to tap right into our breath. As we breathe in through our nose, notice everything that's there, all that could be absorbed, everything that's changing us, everything that's keeping us the same. And then on our exhales through our nose, we want to invite any energies here that we'd like to let go of or release. We just soften and use our exhales to invite that energy to leave our body. And then noticing those inhales again. What are we absorbing? What are we taking in? There's so many things to take in around us in our environment. Even if we're by ourselves, we have our space, has all our little knickknacks. Maybe you have an animal here with you. Whatever it is, whatever you're absorbing, taking in, we want to make sure it's only what we need here to lift us up. And that's not to say that we don't notice all that other energy out here. Maybe we've let some energy come into our space that we'd like to release and start to push out. So notice that energy pushing against you maybe a little bit that you'd like to release. If you can recognize that, you can sense that pushback. Maybe it's tension. Maybe it feels like mind chatter. Maybe your feelings are just overwhelmed today. Just observing what's here, how beautiful it is to feel and observe, to notice. But then we have to remember it's up to us to take charge, to be responsible for what we want to keep. What do we want to hang on to? What are we trying to grow? What's going to feed and water that life we want to grow? Noticing the things here again, pushing back. If there's any resistance, trying not to fight that resistance, just become connected. Letting all parts of ourself be awake, not being scared to feel, being excited to feel, to notice. So much going on here inside of ourselves alone, let alone all that stuff outside of us. How can we focus in even more on those sensations here of resistance? What can we do to let go, to release the tension, release the expectations, release that worry? All on our exhales, we can find that release, bringing a softness into our body. So as that exhale leaves the body, it invites in a softness. And then as we inhale, noticing that tension it creates a little bit here of everything coming in. Can you notice here all the things? Can you maybe just choose one thing you want to bring in and letting all the other things just sit there on the side, watching, just waiting for your attention? What are we giving our attention to? And if there's anything pulling your focus and attention away from what you truly want right now, invite that energy to leave your body, to leave your space on your exhales, so we can invite in only what we need with our inhale. Exhales are like magic, just softening, feeling our presence, feeling our own power of release, and then feeling that awakening of the inhale. Let's take 3 of those breaths together here before we come back. Deep inhales in, filling up with what we need, that focus, that intention of just for today, I'm going to do my best. And anything clinging on, holding on, we let that leave our body on our exhales. Inhales fill up with that excitement for life. How awesome it is to be here with you, but to just be here for me. Exhales, releasing any old ideas, all that junk, anyone else's opinions are leaving our body, leaving our space. One more of those powerful inhales of intention, of your purpose. So awesome. Exhales, release that old bullshit, that stuff we don't want. It's no longer us. And then as we open our eyes, coming back, just remembering it's a game that we're playing all the time, every breath, every moment. How awesome. We get to check in and see what is going on, not only in us, but around us. When we start to curate that life we want, only bringing in what we need, even when we notice those other things and people around us that we're like, dang, I can't be around them or whatever it is. It's like, they need to check themselves or whatever that is. We're all judging each other in that way, right? So when we align with ourselves, those right people are going to meet us and cross our path. And we're going to be like, whoa, we're just going to recognize it in someone else. It's not hard when we're really lifting ourselves up and focusing on our purpose.
Well, and sometimes when you're trying to kind of shed those outside energies, or even an energy that you just don't want to feel anymore that's coming from yourself, like having that physical motion of like literally shaking it off or like brushing it off, sweeping it off the body really helps create that intention of like letting it go in a physical way.
I like that.
So sometimes that's easier to imagine releasing than just doing it in the mind. So,
Right. You can literally just sweep it off your body, off your arms, off your torso, off your legs, off your face. Just being free of that old energy because
yeah.
we really can only do anything right now. And it just makes me want to jump up and do so much.
Yeah. So I feel like this was a really good message for today. I can see us using this deck pretty frequently.
Oh, yeah.
And then next we'll have our Pisces season video probably coming out over this weekend. So we'll do that before our next meditation video again. But otherwise, we'll see you soon. And you can follow us on Facebook and Instagram, or our website is markannawellness.com. Thank you.
Thank you guys so much. Have a beautiful day.